One. Hello, you guys, and welcome to the Woman's Game. You recognize I started like right off the gate, like I'm racing, and then I looked over and I was like, there's nobody there. So now I feel real silly because I just raced it against myself, and now I'm like a little winded. Yeah, just in case you can't tell, quarantine has been great for my culinary skills, horrible for my waistline. So like talking fast is way too much exercise. I'm like, whew. It's like a 4K. I'm burning the same calories. I'm not. Anyway, I should probably tell you guys what we made. But I promised my guest that I would make this quick. But I'm going to do it anyway because I'm a narcissist. Okay. So yesterday, someone was like, so what did you make? And they asked me also on Facebook, like in a message. And then we were like, we're making a post. Actually, I made the post because I'm a narcissist. And the post is like that long of like stuff we made. I was like, good gracious. And none of it is still in the house because we ate it all. So if you see this and you have comments about how fat I look, just put the exercise video link that you do right in the comments, and I'll start, working out again. Anyway, my name is Winona. Yeah, and that funny rant was not nearly as funny as it normally is. And I wrote books. Well, I wrote books with the And I Thought ladies. They're the literary life guide to pop poetry. Yeah, I think I said that backwards. It's not important. Anyway, we have the And I Thought series, the first book being And I Thought Divorce Was Bad, and this is also an audio book. And we have And I Thought Being Grown Up Was Easy, and I know we've been promising for 2 years. We are going to have it. We're going to have this book. We still don't have it as an audio book, but that's okay. Because Joe Sands did such a great job, I would wait. Don't buy the regular book, buy the audio book when it comes out. And yes, I'm talking myself out of money. So, I'm going to be wearing these same pearls because y'all ain't buy both books and the audio books, and my royalty check looks small. But anyway, moving on. We also have the Misfit Guides, and those 2 books are in that series. I am the author of the Widow's Debt series and Foreign Coffee, which is also an audio book. And we have the new book, If Only I Were Me, and we are the co-founders. And whenever I say that, it's not like the 2 of us co-founded it with somebody else. I don't know. Like, it was the 2 of us founded it, so I should probably say that we're founders. In case you're wondering why I keep saying 2 of us, there's nobody over there, this is not Ghost-like town. Jade is normally sitting there. I'm not crazy. So the 2 of us founded the 25 Hottest Authors, Artists, and Advocates magazine. It's 196 pages long, you guys. So if you need to ignore someone for like 2 days, get it. It's $7.50. I think that's about it. Now let me check, because I don't normally do this. Jade does. Yeah, that's 6, right? Yes. Okay, here, we're done. We're at the end of this. So you can check out everything on www.andwethought.com. Pick up our books on Amazon, BarnesandNobles.com, and Audible.com. That's normally at the end, but you see, I'm Winona, not Jade, so I get confused on how to do this. But you're not here to hear about me, although I've rambled for a good 4 minutes now. You're here to hear from our wonderful guest. Wonderful guest, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. Hi, guys. My name is Jen David, and I am a CEO, visionary, and entrepreneur.
You see why I'm wearing the pearls today, right? You can't just show up to interview a CEO and be like, bare necks. Not going to be classy with it. I am still amazed that you said yes to the interview. When I sent out the email, I was like, well, that put you down as a no. She's not coming. And you said yes. I was like, oh, my God.
Of course. Of course I would say yes. Yeah. Yeah, I was just as excited, actually. So.
Awesome! I'm so excited that you're excited. Honestly, when it came back, you said yes, and I was excited, and then I was like, I bet you it's because she doesn't recognize who's interviewing her yet. And then you showed up and said you did your homework, and I went, dang, shit. Yep. I don't understand why. Why she say yes? Anyway, so I think that should be my first question. Why did you say yes? I'm joking. No. I want to know if in the business.
I'm sorry, say that again. It kind of cut out. I'm so sorry.
How did you get started in the business?
Okay, so in entertainment specifically, in the entertainment business, well, as cliche as it's going to sound, it kind of found me, and I'll preface that now with, I grew up a high-level competitive gymnast, so, I'm not new to, at least a craft, a little different mindset of a craft, but still working on something and refining it, perfecting it, and then going out and presenting it in some way. So that is my background, and with that does come dance, and and things that then when you do realize that your body's not going to do that forever. You know, what am I going to do? It was a pretty, easy kind of transition into entertainment from a dance and choreography perspective. And that's really what got me started in that direction of actually working in entertainment. And it was through, being able to flip and tumble and dance and do choreography in live stage shows. And then that opened the door then for me wanting to explore method acting and becoming an actor and learning Meisner. And I was really young, and then that led me then to just really loving the process of character development and all that technique is so amazing. It's therapeutic, really, so I just fell in love with the process of the entertainment business from pre-production all the way through post, and I love business as well. So the two just kind of finally found each other when the time was right, and here I am. So.
Oh, nice. It's funny because I think we've only interviewed like 2 other talent agents. That you are a talent agency.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm not, on top of being a narcissist, I do sometimes airhead, because I'll be like, you're a talent agent. And they'll be like, no, I actually write books. I'll be like, oh. Close, right? It's like the same thing.
That's so funny.
Okay.
Well,
and they always.
Oh, sorry. Well, yes, I'm a talent agent, but I have a lot of other, things that I dabble in. So you probably hit one of them. If you guessed or were wrong, you actually might. There's a good chance you actually might be right. So.
Oh, great! I love it when I can't mess up. It's like the answer is all of the above. This is awesome. Those are the best answers.
Yeah.
Okay, that reminds me. I have to go back and ask the question that's in my head, because I'm like 5 miles down the road from my original question now. So a question that was originally in my head was, did the self-discipline from dance and being a gymnast help, do you think it gives you an edge in management and being an agent?
100%, yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
I credit that sport, and it's, I credit what it instilled in me at such a long age, or such an early age, for a very long time. Is beyond the physical, because I cannot do the physical like I used to do, that's for sure. But what it did, without I didn't even realize at the time what it was really instilling in me, was mindset and focus, and really shooting for a goal. And through that, you have short-term goals, but the end goal is still the same, and you can never achieve the end goal without achieving and accomplishing those small goals along the way. And I'm sure there are many sports that do that, but because I'm biased towards competitive gymnastics, I swear, like, there's no sport like it. And I see now today just how much that all of those years of training in that way, how it really, I will 100% say with confidence that it is the foundation as to who I am today, and how I'm able to, get through different challenges in the day and accomplish whatever I want to. So.
Okay, I have to say that sounds amazing, because I don't think I could do that kind of self-discipline for a gymnast life.
Well,
much diet control, waking up early. Oh, good gracious, no.
Yeah, well, and I'm sure there's something to be said about starting young, because and I was so passionate about gymnastics. I mean, I really was very fortunate at a young age to find a passion. My parents didn't do it. Nobody in my family was. I didn't come from a family of gymnasts, and you could not. It's the only thing I wanted to do, like 24/7. I thought about it constantly. I did it. If I wasn't in the gym, I was at home doing it. I was, stretching extra. But it's what I wanted to do, because it was my passion. And that's so important. You know, we hear all the time, you know, do what you're passionate about, you know, follow what you're passionate about. But that's a really hard to do when you grow up, you know, and then you have responsibilities and you have bills and like all these things. And you know, we can be good at a lot of things and do them and make money and support our lives, but is it really what our passion is? And I am finding more times than not, people aren't able or not actually doing what they're passionate about to support, you know, like full time. So I'm very thankful that that I was given that opportunity at a young age to find my passion, because through that, then it instilled all these principles that now are helping me tremendously. So
I think it's great that you found passion at a young age. And as you can tell, I'm easily distracted because all the questions on my other path that I was 5 miles down, completely don't remember them whatsoever. Just remember that I want to follow passion now. I have a passion to follow the passion.
Yes. Yeah.
Finding a passion at a young age, that you know what kind of inner eagerness there is to like get up every day and be like, this is what I'm going to do. And it never feels like work, and you spend extra time there because, I mean, why not? It's fun. Yeah. So like, I'm assuming that this same thing happened with your agency, because I mean, for someone, they're an agent, that's a lot of work. Mm-hmm. But then the own one, oh my goodness, that's a complete level of devotion. I'm going to go with passion. It has to be passion. Am I right?
Yeah, it is passion. I mean, my passion is in building things, you know, and the agency is, you know, is one, you know, it's an amazing, you know, channel to, you know, different things that I have going on. But I love process. I'm passionate about process, really. And looking back, as you know, as a gymnast, it's always process. You know, you can't get to the big flips and tricks without going through the process of, you know, building those foundations and refining and perfecting, not following perfection, but pursuing excellence. That really instilled, it's almost a principle of mine that was instilled from that sport. And so that carries on now, and in going through processes of whether it's building a brand, whether it's building a business, whether it's building an actor, whether it's building, you know, a pitch for a network, like whatever it is, there is a process. And I believe in respecting the process and going through each phase of the process with excellence. And then whatever you're trying to build in the end of that is going to have a strong foundation and is going to maybe even be a few of the last standing from when you started, you know? So that's the journey I'm on.
It sounds like an amazing journey. And yes, there's going to be a lot standing like from when you started. We'll probably be talking about your agency 50 years from now.
I hope so. That would be great.
So, back to me, because I'm a narcissist. Right. I'm joking. Oh, no. So part of me wants to go down this road of a whole nother road, but I'm going to ask a technical question, if you don't mind.
Of course.
So I know that in California, there's a difference between a manager and an agent. A manager can find you work, but they can't, like, actually put you up for the work, but an agent can. Mm-hmm. Does that hold true in Nashville? And if it doesn't, what are the differences?
Yeah, that's such a great question. So most of your Southeast states, like Georgia, which we know is booming in film and television, and Tennessee and the Southeast, they are primarily, they're right to work states. So even managers here can, you know, they can submit and pitch their clients as well. Here, the difference between, let's say, LA, and which is a union state versus you know, a right to work state, is that the agents are the ones who can negotiate your contracts. Managers can still pitch, you know, and they make their own connections and their own contacts. They can still submit, and they can, you know, they can still technically, I mean, book you on those jobs. But when it comes to like really like negotiating, you know, an actor's contract and residuals and appearances and things like that, that's where, you know, those managers really look for solid agents to be able to do that. Also, with agencies, it's more about having maybe a bigger roster, because we're submitting and pitching all the time. You know, an agent might have 4 or 5, maybe even 8, maybe even 10, maybe even more of kind of the, you know, in the same age, the same kind of the same, because not everyone's going to be available at the same time, and not every, you know, and we're trying to just get the booking, like we're from anyone on our roster, you know, where a manager, because they're so engulfed in everything about that talent's life. I mean, from picking them up if they have to taking them to audition, you know, from being in a movie to then doing a special appearance, then to, you know, doing a record deal if they want, whether like a manager is kind of managing all of their pie, where an agent is just a small slice of a talent's pie, because they've got other things that, you know, from book deals, and a lot, talent will also have different agents for different things that they're doing. So, you know, they'll have a literary agent if they want to, you know, write a book, and then they'll have a film and TV agent, a voiceover agent, you know, but a manager is the one who's managing all of those. They're like the gatekeeper, and sometimes babysitter. You know, sometimes mom, sister, brother, babysitter, whatever they need to be, to make sure that actor or talent, you know, there's all kinds of different talent now, and there always has been, but you know, from social media influencers to, you know, actors, and to where the agent would just be like, get your talent in line or I'm dropping them, you know. And something that I like to say too, the difference between managers and agents is, managers think that they will tell you that their actor is good for every role. And an agent will be like, no, like that's not even the same. Like this part is for, you know, a male or whatever, and you're, you know, but a manager believes that their, you know, actor is good for everything, you know, because they're totally entrenched into everything about that, you know, person, and their roster is typically smaller because that's a lot to manage.
Yeah, it is a lot to manage. Well, one of the reasons that it was taking us a minute to get here, don't know if you didn't know, because yeah, I arrived before you, so haha, I made it. But it took me a minute to get here is because our road manager doesn't live far from us, so she literally drove up today just to check in and make sure we were okay and get supplies. So we have not had to leave our house since March the 11th because our road manager drops by every week to take care of us.
See? Go manager. That's a good manager. Your agent would be like, everything is shut down. Why are you calling me? I'm just kidding. No, I hope that my roster would agree with this statement, because it does ring very true and authentic to me. Is I am an agent, but I'm more of an agent with a manager's heart, you know. So I will, you know, Zoom my talent and see how they're doing and things like that, you know, because I don't know, I love connection, and for me to be passionate about being an agent, I have to have a reason and a purpose, and I have to feel like I know who I'm out fighting for, you know, who I'm out, you know, because everything I do is led by passion. And if I'm not passionate about the talent on my roster, and I don't really believe in them, then I can't pitch them, and it doesn't come across like, you know. But when I really believe in something and I'm really passionate, you know, I don't care who's listening and who's not listening. I will share how passionate I am about this person and this and that, you know. And that's really helped me, I think, in being an agent.
Oh, can you be my agent manager now?
Yeah. course.
So what can a person expect when they do sign with JL David Agency?
Yep, JL David Agency. Well, they can expect to definitely not get a runaround. I think that's important. I hear a lot from, especially, talent outside of your major markets, who are maybe are more new, not discrediting their qualifications or their craft, especially if they've really been, taking the last couple of years and working with, different coaches more from, and what I mean, on their craft, and they just need to get going. Like everybody has to start somewhere, but because they still are technically new to the business side of things, it might be a little more difficult to be able to filter out what agent or agency is going to be the best for you. And I'm not the best for everyone. And I had to learn that early on too, because I want everyone to want to be a part of my family, because I am very relational. But I had to, step back and say, okay, but I'm not right for everyone, and not everyone is right for me. And that's okay. Like that's how this is. That's how the business is. And it goes the same with talent, when they're interviewing agents. So I think what they can at least know that they're going to get from me is that I'm not going to, tell them just what they want to hear, just so that, they can, so that I get them and nobody else does. Like, and that I really do respect talent who respect the process. And I love going through that, and I love teaching that, and I will be there every step of the way as long as you're willing to take those steps too, So that's what they'll get.
I love this. What I have learned today is that you must respect the process. Do not try to skip. You must respect the process.
Yeah.
People tell me that. They're like, no, it's a process. And I'm like, but is it?
It is, though. And, sometimes, and the thing is sometimes the process is more for ourselves than it is, yeah, sure, you can get a back door into something, but that doesn't mean that you're ready for that, personally. And I do know that if you respect the process and you go through it, that when time comes, you will be able to sustain it, and instead of being a one-hit wonder or a here and gone, and then that follows a whole other spiral of problems, personally, and it's not worth it. And and it's so much better to have longevity in something, so, and build something right, let's build this right, and so
I wholeheartedly agree. I do remember there was a time where I did not want to respect the process. I'm not going to lie.
We all have been there,
We worked. I worked myself around. The whole time Jade was like, "You're not ready for this," and I'm like, "Yes, I am." It's like everyone's telling me you're not ready for this. And when I was sitting in the meeting, I went, "Oh, I'm nowhere close to ready for this." And I was like, "This is the worst time to figure this out."
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, I understand that that's a very probably humbling moment too. Like, but what happened after that? Did you then kind of step back and maybe look at things a little more, or try to take a little extra time to read a little more, study a little more, so that then you did feel ready? And I think that's God's way, of keeping us in line so that we can fulfill our dreams, because how devastating is it going to be when you feel in that moment temporarily that you fulfilled your dream, and then it all comes crashing down because you weren't ready to you just weren't ready for it. And that's my little doggy, you know, and that's devastating. And I don't want that for anybody. It's not good.
I don't know what I'd have done if we had actually crashed and burned. I mean, we pivoted the conversation in the meeting.
So I'm so sorry.
Anyway, I've taken up a lot of your time, so let me hurry up and finish up this show.
Okay.
So what 3 pieces of advice would you give to someone that's looking to get into the business and possibly find a manager and/or agent?
Yeah. Well, the first thing is, you know, really be truthful with yourself on where you're at, you know, not with your passion, not with, oh, I've always wanted to do this. That's all great. But there are steps that have to be taken, and you've got to be willing to just put that, you know, eagerness aside and, you know, really do exactly what is necessary to be able then to compete in the business. You know, you would never put your house up for sale if you was not ready for the market. And I say that to actors all the time, especially newer talent, you know, that are wanting to, you know, look at this more in terms of a career. And so just like a realtor comes in to assess your house on what needs to get done to, you know, you got to do this, you need to, you know, maybe paint this wall or fix this. We do the same thing. And but if you don't do that, then, you know, you can't expect your agent or manager to still put it up for what you're trying to sell it for. So that would, did I say 3? I don't even know if I said, that's like the biggest one. I would, you know, the second one would be is this, and this is a big one. Just because you want to be an actor does not mean that you don't need to learn about writing, about casting, about directing, you know, about being a PA, you know, what does a first AD do, a second AD, you know, who's on set with you, you know, what is the difference between union and non-union, because that's just, the more you know about every little part of it, then the better you're going to be in your role and in your job. And it's the more professional it is to know all the different departments and who does what. And so, you know, and you can start that right now. You don't have to have an agent or a manager. You don't have to have a resume. You don't have to have a network credit, you know, to start that. I would advise them to jump in, you know, take a screenwriting class, like with no expectation. You're not trying to be a screenwriter. You're just trying to be a better actor, you know? But if you can understand, you know, just a little bit about it, then when you get your audition sides, or you get, you know, and you know structure, and you know, and you've gone through just a little bit of how a writer approaches that content, or how a director is going to approach that scene, think about your audition tape then, like, you know, because now you're able to look at that from 3 different, very crucial, you know, point of views, and then you can make choices as an actor based on that. I mean, that could be what sets your audition apart when they're looking through tapes, because you made a different choice, but it was all because you understood that, you know, that those sides differently than, let's say, an actor who only is in their little bubble of an actor.
I love that. I love that. Definitely, the more perspectives you have of something, the better the decision you will make. Mm-hmm. I think that's great, especially the screenwriting one, because, well, we have a friend that's an actor, but she also writes books, which then, of course, led to screenwriting. And so, like, it's funny watching her when we knew her, like, 3 years ago, when she was reading a scene for us. We were like, oh, this is cool. But we were like, as a writer, we would think this, and this. And then, like, now, 3 years later, she's getting booked for a lot more parts. And I had to ask her when she read, like, the same thing over again. I'm like, why did you change your choices? And she was like, well, as a writer, I would see that I would say like the whole background of, and then you can see like you can understand the character development better. And because she's like, because you novel, when you write a novel, you have to build a world, and so you're building a world for the character. And then she's like, when you write a screenplay, it's more about doing the dialogue, so you know exactly where you need to put that oomph into that dialogue to make that world you're done as a novel writer come onto the screen. And I was like, yeah, so much better now.
Yeah.
You're watching this? I never said that you were horrible. You were great to start with. Just so much better now. But you know, because you're booking Network Plus. You're booking Network Plus. So whatever. You know that.
That's wonderful.
Okay. So can I ask, where can people find out more information about the agency and about any of the other projects, which I did not have time to ask you about that you were doing?
Oh, yeah.
Well.
Okay, of course. So the agency, you can just go to jaildavidagency.com. You also can find me on IMDb, so you can see, you know, my client list, the different actors that are on my roster. Even though, you know, we are in the Southeast, we do have LA and New York actors on our roster, you know, that I am submitting for the projects here in the Southeast, so which are, you know, booming. So we're really excited to be having Hollywood East over here. Whoop, whoop. So so that's where you can go for the agency. Also, you know, Instagram and all the socials, which is JL David Agency. Myself, you can find me on Instagram, BJinDavid. And so there's a kind of a little passion project that I have started, you know, it's one of those, like, it started years ago, but, you know, because of life, you do a little bit at a time. But it's a blog called Winning Takes Practice. And I intend of making it into a book. But I started small first, because, you know, me and my process, I'm like, okay, you know, yes, I want to write a book, but I actually, because I want to write a book, I'm going to start writing blogs because I know myself, you know, so if I can start and, you know, accomplish the blogs and be consistent and achieve that, then I will eventually make that into a book. So I'd love people to check that out. It's more of that mindset, you know, like we were talking about, in kind of all different areas, but it's called winningtakespractice.com. And I'm going to be focusing on that more this year. And then I also have a CBD company. Uh-oh. Is it air? I have a brand new CBD line that I created and developed called Dope Mary. And we just launched CBD, yeah. Yep, CBD. So we have custom CBD bath bombs and just a whole cool concept that I created and developed, and then partnered with the distribution and all of that in Colorado, and that's called dopemary.com. So I'd love everybody to check that out. That's probably enough for today. So
okay. So yeah, I will be checking out your CBD line.
Cool. Let us know what you think.
But thank you so much. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day. It's just so great to have a CEO on. I feel so like awesome. And I have to rub the
thank you.
I did the classy jump.
Good.
So I'm gonna wrap it up. And that's normally Jay's job. You recognize I said I'm gonna wrap this up and turned, and I was like, oh, there's no one there. And besides the wind, obviously, the wind is over here.
Well, good job for hosting the whole thing. You know, I know how it is when when you feed off somebody and you've got your routine. So you did a great job. That's a big job to fill to fill both people, and so good job. You did a great job.
Manager agent right here. She did the rah-rah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Quickly, let me tell you guys, remember that everything that your ladies are doing, not is, because yesterday was my is day, if y'all remember. Because I was like, everything the ladies is doing, English just flew out the window. So everything that the ladies are doing are at www.andwethought.com. Also, when you're there, go to the ladies tab, which is about like the second, I think, or the third tab. Go down to the middle of the page and see the three charities that we proudly support. We know that times are tight. So money is probably not what you're going to want to give up right now, but please know that when we talk to them, a lot of times they're missing their gap in knowledge. So if you have some knowledge that you think that would be useful to that agent, to that charity, please call them. Let them know that you are available to get your brain picked. That way they can survive this COVID pandemic and still be a charity when this is over, and it'll actually help them run smoother afterwards. So it's a win-win. Win for you because you give knowledge, win for them because they get to stick around. Okay, remember that wisdom is all around you if you're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love, you guys, from the Missing Jade and Will Nona. Bye-bye.